Happy Mary Monday. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J, and we're live on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. I am your host, Mary J. Thank you to all of my listening audience that are sharing with us all around the globe. I hope you're having a happy Mary Monday today. I sure am. I am in the studio on today with my girl, Jan, and we are talking about, guess what we're talking about today, Jan?
What is it?
Ooh, it's going to get steamy and hot up in here early in the morning at 10 a.m. We are talking about truth or dare. You know, why do men cheat? And lie about it to spare feelings on this morning. But Jan, welcome on this morning to Real Talk with Mary J.
Thank you.
I am happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Great, great. Listen, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and what you do on today.
Of course, I am
Make
Jane.
sure you're speaking in the mic.
Jane Enajbutterfly, aka Enajbutterfly, as some of you may know. I am over the education department at a homeless shelter for 16 to 22, 23-year-old homeless youth.
Wow, that's awesome.
Distressed youth, yeah. And I help them get into high school, college. I help find them employment on top of like counseling them, you know. And so I do that, my 9-to-5 job. And then on the side, I have my website called Conversations with Enajbutterfly.
Yes.
And we talk about healthy relationships, and it's merely based on what people talk about every day, especially my single friends. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of questions. So I created a blog, and it started off as a Facebook question. Mm-hmm. Why were there so many educated women, beautiful educated women that were single? So it kicked off that way, and it evolved into something big. So that's how Conversations with Enajbutterfly came about. On top of that, I have degrees in psychology, and I'm in the process of writing a book, The Beauty of a Butterfly, and that should be done. I'm not going to say should be. I'm pushing by the end of the year. Yeah. Yes. And, of course, through all the publishing and all the, you know, they have to look at it and stuff. Right. So my part will be done like by the end of the year. Right. So I'm excited about that. And I have group sessions on relationships. I have people come in and we discuss about healthy relationships and how to build it, how to keep it, and everything. And they have questions, and I kind of give my input. Yeah. You know, I love it. I love doing it. And that's what I do.
Awesome. That's a lot.
I know. I
love it. All of what you're saying, what you're doing, even as it relates to the underprivileged young people, to prepare the way for their future and to, you know, give them the opportunity to get an education. Exactly. You know, to go off to school and to college. That's major.
They're not as fortunate as we were coming up. You know, they didn't have that support or don't have that support, and that's where I come in. Mm-hmm. And I try to give them hope. Yes. And I do have success stories. They'll come back and say, oh, Miss Jane, I got into school, or I got my degree or my high school diploma. So I try to make it a point to attend their graduation because they have no support. Right. You know, nobody in the stand to say, yay. Right. So I make sure that I try to get there and do what I have to do.
Yeah. Well, are those kids, do they have family here? Are they mainly family support?
Some of them have family here, but the situation is sometimes mom will choose the boyfriend over them, put them out the house, or sexually abused. Yes. Some have come to us involved in human trafficking, which is getting like really, you know, known, especially in New Orleans. Surprisingly, you know, it's, you know, when they have like different events in the city, and that's where you find all these people that wound up missing.
Yeah, trickling in the city, coming from other states and all. Wow. Well, I'm sure that all of your expertise, along with relationships too, should be able to empower them even more.
Yes. Yeah. So on that note, I have quite a few that come in my office wanting to talk about being in an abusive relationship. Yeah. Yes, and not knowing, because, I can't tell my personal business to them because, everybody has that mad day. So I can relate to them because I was once in that situation.
So was I.
Wow.
So we have a lot of talking to do, and I'm already knowing right away that you're going to be back on the show.
Oh, great!
So we're about to get deep in here. We're going to talk about why do men cheat and lie about it just to spare feelings. And I'm going to tell you how this topic matter came up for me. I love Steve Harvey. Love him, right? Have a great deal of respect for him and all of what he has done and what he's doing as it relates to empowerment with relationships, with marriages, with self-esteem, the whole 9 yards. I don't listen to the radio a whole lot. I should listen to it more, but I was listening to it at this time, and Steve Harvey was on the radio on his show, and one of the things that he said that men lie about cheating because they don't want to hurt you. They don't want women to hurt, so they would lie about it because they don't want to hurt. Now, as much love I have for Steve, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
That just went all through me like, okay, all right, you don't want to hurt, but lying.
But why do it then?
Lying makes you feel better about hurting. My thing is, wound me now, don't hurt me later. Wound me now, let me deal with the truth. Let me make the decision whether or not I want to stay with you or not. But I think it's very, very selfish to cheat and then lie about it and stay with the person because you're afraid that they may leave you. So we're going to talk about that today, Jan.
Okay, good.
So listen, when I shot that out on my social media page, nobody wanted to deal with it. I don't know why. It's hard coming from a woman when women oppose these type of questions. It's like everything gets silent. But when a man throw it out there, everybody's clicking on and giving their say.
Yes.
So, Jan, you were one of them that, the comments that you wrote about were like, I was like, hey, look, this girl has covered it all. Everything that I would have said, you said it from start to finish in that order. So let's talk about it on today. What do you think?
So I thought about it, and even more so after I responded. So one of my answers were, men lie, I agree, to spare feelings. Right. Because they don't think that that individual is ready to hear anything like that, first of all.
Right.
They think that that person is too weak to understand. But now I'm getting right. But
real talk.
But now you have to think about it, Mary J. They lied about cheating, but whose feelings are they really trying to spare? Their own as well. Right. They don't want to have to deal with the outcome of telling you that they have cheated because they will no longer have control. They may even love you, care about you, but they're afraid themselves because if they tell you, they're going to lose, a good thing. And they know you are a good thing.
Right.
So they're afraid. So I agree totally with that question. Yes. Yeah, I had to think about it.
And that's the thing. And so that's what I'm saying. When they cheat, and we're talking about men. Of course, women cheat as well, but that's not the subject for today.
But today it's men.
It's men. Okay, so just in case my listening audience are getting a little fickled and saying, what are they talking about? Men are not the only ones that cheat. We know both men and women cheat. But if you want to dial in the studio, you have any questions or comment, feel free to dial in with us on today. The number is 504-341-TALK. 504-341-8255. But, Jan, as it relates to cheating, you're dead on. Because whose feelings at that time are they trying to spare is their own. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's mainly, to me personally, and this is only my opinion, they're trying to spare their own feelings.
Right.
You know, the next question is, okay, if you're afraid, to tell that significant other you're cheating, then why cheat?
Right.
If you're afraid of getting hurt or hurting that other person, so why do it? Okay, you do it. It's just in you. Older people would say, men gonna be men.
Oh, I just
and
hate
I
that.
don't like that, because there are good men out there, that are dedicated.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say you or we have to go and find them, because that's not what the Bible says.
Yes.
What it says.
He that findeth us,
Find it. Thank you.
Thing.
Thank you.
Yes, yes,
So that's
yes.
another. After the break, we could talk about that. About looking.
Right.
But for now, the question was, why do they lie about cheating?
Right.
But they lie about cheating because they don't want to spare their own feelings. That's
right.
my theory.
I got you, and I'm with you on that theory too, because
women are, and I'm sorry, Mary Jo, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm so sorry, but women are stronger than men.
Yeah.
And they know this.
Right.
We're stronger. So for them to say or think that they don't want to hurt our feelings, no. We get over it.
Right.
You don't want to hurt your own feelings. Right. You don't want to get caught.
That's it.
That's why you lie about it. Right. You don't want to get caught.
Right.
And if you do get caught, you're going to wound up probably losing the best thing that ever happened to you, plus your side chick.
Right.
And you're going to be left alone.
Right. Yeah. But most of those side chicks, they stay,
Yeah, but they don't. But that's not who who that guy wants.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Honestly,
that's absolutely truth. Absolutely the truth. Men will lie about cheating, so they won't have to face telling the truth, because, as you stated, a lot of questions come up. And you brought that up too, a lot of the questions would come up, then why, then who is she, then how long has this been, and they don't want to deal with all of those questions.
Deal with it.
They don't want to deal with those questions either.
Right.
They don't want to deal with the risk of losing you. But I say a real man, first of all, I'm not going to go into whether or not a real man cheats or not, because we know that they have some strong men that have fallen.
Right.
But when you take your rightful place, when you're sick and tired of just games and playing games, I'm reminded of the word that says, when I was a child, I thought as a child.
Oh, yes.
I understood as a child. But when I became a grown woman, a grown man, a grown woman, I put away those childish things.
Exactly.
So now we have to come to the reality of where we are, who we are, and what we want.
Right.
And in many cases, we find that men play and they want to continue to play.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why they continue to lie about cheating.
And let me say this. I was divorced. I've been divorced for almost, 7 years and a couple months now.
Okay.
And I would say, after maybe 4 years of being divorced, I started to date. But I did not know that there were, these men out here still playing games.
Right.
I didn't know that. I guess because I've been out of it a long time.
Same
I was
here.
married for 10, 11 years, and then when I finally started dating, they were just playing games. So I said, you know what, God, I'm not going to focus on who the next guy is going to be. I don't want to even look at it anymore. Right. So I focused on me.
Yes.
And I had to find me again. I practically dated myself. I went to the movies by myself.
Yes.
I went sat on the lakefront
Yes.
and watched the water, the sounds of the water. I did everything. I even went in a restaurant, had dinner with myself. And I don't drink, but that one particular night, I had a little martini.
Yeah, you know, and it's okay.
You know,
and,
but the concept is date yourself, take care of you first.
right.
And then that person will come along unexpectedly without you looking.
Right. That's dead on. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then hopefully, I'm going to say, you won't have to deal with, you know, the cheating thing,
my God,
because
the drama.
God would have sent you that person.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll be ready.
And you mentioned earlier about Steve Harvey. He has some good points.
Awesome.
And there's this clip he has on YouTube. I forgot what the name of it is called. Something Faith Way, I think. Okay. So, in other words, he was saying, how are you going to be ready for who God has for you if you still have the old? He gave an example. He had an old car in the garage, and he kept telling his mom he needed a new car. He needed a new car. She would go out to the garage. She would come back. You need a new car? Okay. So her answer was all the time, okay. So he went out. He got rid of the old car, and he went and told his mom, I need a new car. She went and looked. Oh, okay. So your old one is gone now. Now you're ready for your new car. And he coincided that with relationship-wise. If you're complaining about not meeting the right guy and, when my time is going to come, that's because you're still dealing with your old.
Right, right.
And that's what, I'm not going to say that's what I was doing, but I was giving guys who meant me no good my attention. So I went through my phone, and I was swipe, delete the contacts.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be bothered with anyone who meant me any good. Deleted them all. Focused on myself. Happened unexpectedly.
Awesome. Won't he do
3 years later.
Won't he do it? You know, and that's a good thing. You know, and we need to hear that, ladies, and listen, because when we take time out for us and we make us we get us together, we pour into us and make those deposits that are necessary.
That's right.
I talk about dating myself a whole lot, you know, because that's what I do, because I'm not out looking, and when you're out and I don't want to go in too deep because New Orleans is there's not a whole lot out there anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. No.
No. And so my thing is, like, what level do you really want to be on? You know, who is out there that is worth your time and attention?
Right.
And so when you make an investment in you, you have to think about that as well. That's like, you know, there's not a whole lot out there that is worth my time and my attention to get me to want to succumb.
Right.
Any type of foolishness definitely won't be tolerated.
And he knows just what to give you, to bless you with.
Right.
You know, I made a list. You know, he says, you know, ask for what you want.
That's right.
And be specific, right?
Right.
You know, and so I made a list of what kind of guy I wanted, the height, the weight, how many kids. I made that list. And so I put it in Genesis, where it says, God did not make man to be alone, so he created woman.
You put your list in.
Yeah.
Mark your spot, girl. Mark your territory.
So when I would meet the guy, then I'm sure everything came what I had on that list. And then I went and opened it up, and sure enough, I scratched everything off on that list. Now, don't get me wrong, listeners. You know, he also says, put trust in no man. But I'm not going to say that the guy I met is 100%, or I don't know what he's doing 24/7.
Right.
We don't live together or any of that.
Right.
So, but I do believe, that God didn't put us together for a reason.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that list. I know we're getting ready to go into a commercial break in just a moment. We're going to talk about that list, Jan.
Yeah.
I have so many that would ask me the question, Mary J, what kind of man you want? What kind of, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm almost hesitant to say, because a lot of times I don't want you looking over your shoulder wondering if I want your man, because I know. And then, I'm like, okay.
I know.
Don't worry about what Mary J wants. You just hold on to yours, But we'll talk about it in just a few moments. It's getting hot in here already at 10 a.m. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. I am your host, Mary J. We want you to dial into the studio if you have any comments, questions. We want to hear from you. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. We'll be right back.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Thank you to all of my listening audience that are sharing with us. You're having a happy, merry Monday. I hope you are. Hope you were with us before our commercial break, because it got a little deep up in here. Yes, it did. I am in the studio with Jane Enajbutterfly. We are on the show today. We are talking about why do men cheat? Why do men cheat and lie about cheating? That's what we're talking about on today. So if you'd like to tune in into the subject matter and you want to call in the station on today, feel free. 504-341-TALK, 504, that's 8255. Jan, again, back to what we were saying. Now, I know you said that you had a list.
I
a
did.
list of all of the things that you wanted. And Jan didn't know, you guys. We just talked during commercial break. She did not know that I was single. Yes, girl, I'm single. I'm single and satisfied for the moment. For the moment, I'm not looking, but when he comes, I will know.
Yes,
just
you
like
will.
he would know who I am.
Yes.
I would know who he is. I
Yep.
had one of my mentors ask me, Mary J, girl, because I think he thought that I was being guarded, and I'm
Okay.
not guarded. I'm selective, and
Right.
But he said, Mary J, if Boaz had to walk through that door right now, what would you do? I said, if Boaz had to walk through that door, Boaz would know who I am.
You would know.
He would know who I am.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. But we're talking about you writing a list because we have to be selective.
We do. We really do. And being selective, it's comfortable. We tend to be in our comfort zone.
Right.
But when you're selective about what you want, what exactly, you want to be blessed with, then you're inviting that person in
Right.
to everything.
Yes.
So I did make a list because I feel like, and my friends would say I'm ticky or picky. And you have to be, because you're protecting this. You're protecting your heart. And for years, I had a wall build up, around me. I had this wall, Guys would come and approach me, and I would bluntly say, I don't have time. And I didn't. I didn't have time. And I'm sure, just like you said, you would know who that person is. You would know your Boaz.
Right.
And I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything, but when that person came to me, very respectful, I was still kind of cold. And then you have to know, that little voice in your head. You have to know spiritually who that is. And they were like, open up. So,
That's good.
yes.
Now, why do you think you were cold? Do you think you were cold because of past experiences?
Yes.
Of pain?
All that.
Yeah.
Pain, past experiences, and not wanting to go through any of that again. I was afraid. And I'll tell you one thing. On our first night, our first date, we went to this place because I didn't want to do the dinner and a movie thing. It was so cliche, I want to see you. I want to see how you react in a fun way.
Right.
I want to see. So when we were approaching, and I'll never forget, when we were approaching to go into the building, we didn't know that the place was charging. And so he was like, oh, let me go run back to the car and get my wallet. So I started shaking because I thought he wasn't going to come back. Because it happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
And I was like trying to think of a plan B.
Wow.
I said, who am I going to call to come and get me? And I was like, God, why you put me in this situation? My mind started rolling. And that happens because you've gone through so much, you think everybody is like that. And then when he came back, oh my God, I was like, But saying all that, you just have to be like mindful and careful of who you let into your space.
Right.
You do.
Right. Absolutely. And so you had a list of...
I had a list.
Yeah. Now, let me say this, because I know I want to deal with this, because I know if some people hear the first thing, because they would say, oh, well, you don't have to be so, superficial. You weren't about the weight and the height and all of that. And because I heard those things on your list, like right off the top, you were specific. And you have every right to be, because if that's your desire. I know a lot of times we talk about... okay, we want the person to love God. Those of us that are Christians, I'm a Christian. We want them to have a relationship with God. We want them to be saved.
Right.
But right at the top of my list is weight, height, build. And I'm going to tell you why. Because men are visual creatures.
Yes.
They're very visual. They're stimulated by their vision. And we're emotional feelers. And a lot of times we become so engaged in our feelings that we look past certain things and we accept certain things and we settle for certain things. So just as you will want whatever it is that you desire, I believe that if I have somebody, they first have to get my attention. They have to be somebody that is good to look upon.
That's right.
In order to get my attention, and it's not being superficial, because, see, I don't want to be so deep, because we hear people say, well, God might have that 4'8" man or that 4 foot,
No, he's not.
you know, and he might be the one. He might not be fine and built, and he might be the short, you know, big guy, but that's not my desire. And if he said that he would give me the desires of my heart, then I want what I want. Because at the end of the day, if it evolved into a relationship that, you know, is everlasting, I want to turn over in the bed too and wake up and have somebody that I want to be with.
That's right.
I don't want to look beyond that and say, well, he's really good. He treats me really good. He's really good to me.
But.
Exactly. And I always say that when you use words like but and at least, you've already settled, ladies. But and at least you've already settled.
And like you said, God is not going to give you a 4'3" man because that's not your desire.
Absolutely not.
You know,
he may be good for that woman that desire him.
That's right.
But that's not my desire. So, in order to, because you know, sometimes we be so deep, and I'm not trying to be deep. I'm real though. I'm real. I'm not going to be attracted. It has to be somebody that I'm attracted to physically. I'm not going to know how saved you are until we have a conversation. And so it's going to start with the exterior in the beginning. I'm sorry.
It is.
You know, it is. I mean, because we would go there and, you know, I had a guy tell me, well, what if that person has a really good heart? And I said, okay, a good heart is good. But how will I know that if I'm not attracted to him to even give him the time of day?
That's right.
So I had to flip it and give him the other part of that. Okay, if I had somebody that was on the corner, you know, sagged down, boxers out, grill in the front, I mean, tatted up, that's not my desire. He may have a wonderful, beautiful heart. Now, will you call me superficial then? Because I'm not interested?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, of course, it doesn't only deal with the physicality, but it's definitely a part. It's definitely a part.
And, you know, and one of the things on my list was he had to be educated. Because I am.
Right.
And the other was he has to be over 5'10". And he is, you know. Good. So, you know, we have to say
now,
exactly.
Why over 5'10"?
Because I don't want to look even with someone. I wanted to kind of like look up, you know.
And it's okay. It's okay. And I love wearing high heels, and I'm short. I'm 5'4", but I want me somebody at least 6 feet.
See?
That's just my desire.
And we have to ask for what our heart desires. We have to, you know.
I like to look up.
And I also asked for, you know, someone that, I'm not going to say, well, yeah, I did, knows things that I don't know. Someone that could teach me and give me good advice. And someone that we can grow together in Christ. Not, don't walk behind me, don't walk in front of me, but let's go together. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't have that, and that always was my desire. But my first marriage, I settled.
We all do at some point.
I did.
I did, and I'm not going to say everybody does, but you know, I was told once upon a time, Mary J., you married where you were. You did not marry where you were going.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes.
And really and truly, I thought about it, and I was like, wow, I don't even think I married where I was at the time.
Yeah.
Because where I was, and not to discredit my ex-husband or to tear him down or anything, but just knowing where you were, in the place where you were financially, you know, emotionally, spiritually, on every level, I did not marry, where I was at the time, because I was so much further and I had so much more that I wanted.
Yes,
in life.
you had a vision.
Exactly. But you learn from your experiences, and you grow, and you move forward, and God has so much more in store. We're going to talk about why men cheat.
Yes, there's a quote. Have you heard of that quote? It says, talking about a man, if you have to get out of bed to go and answer your phone in the middle of the night, then you're with the wrong person.
Wow.
That was pretty deep for me.
If you have to get out of the bed in the
middle of the night to answer your phone or to make a call, you're with the wrong person.
You're with the wrong person. Well, I guess that depends on what line of work.
On the cheating aspect.
Okay, yeah. I got you on that. I got you on that. Well, we're getting ready to go into our next commercial break, but guess what? We don't want you to go anywhere. We want you to stay right there. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J, coming to you live from NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. I am your host, Mary J. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
Hello, this is Dr. Glenda E. Williams.
This is Charles Stewart.
Dr. Anthony Williams.
And I want to encourage you to join Church Without Walls every Monday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 noon.
And we want to encourage you to promote God's plan and not man's plan.
Don't you dare miss it.
I hope you're having a happy, merry Monday all day long. We're right here in the great N.O. New Orleans. It's a beautiful day outdoors, and we're talking about at 10 a.m. early in the morning. Why do men cheat and lie about it to spare feelings? I have Jane Enajbutterfly. Did I say your name right?
Enajbutterfly, yes.
Enajbutterfly, sharing with us in the studio on today, and we're excited. We're having such a good time. Jan was just saying right before the studio that this conversation has gotten real deep, that she forgot all about what's going on up in here, but we're having a good time, Jan. We're going to talk about it. Of course, we know we said that, men cheat to spare feelings because they don't want to get caught. Mm-hmm. They don't feel that we can handle the truth. They don't think that we're ready, and some women may not be, because some women
women are weak.
They just don't want to deal with the truth. I've even had women sometimes say, I'd rather not know. I had a woman tell me that one time that she'd rather not know.
Really?
Yeah, and that hurted me to hear her say that.
Oh, wow.
Because you rather settle and stay with somebody that you already, have a mind to know that there's things that have shown you that he's cheating on you. There's evidence,
and you just accept
you
it.
rather stay in the dark about it.
Wow.
So some women may not be ready for it. Others I've heard say that, in telling them, like, what good is it going to do? I've heard women say that as well. Like, sometimes they get angry. Sometimes they feel like, who are you to come and tell me? Or why are you telling me this? Or are you trying to destroy my relationship? And all sorts of things. But Steve Harvey said that men cheat and lie about it to spare feelings because they don't want to hurt their woman. So we're going to talk about that because that was hurting for me to hear that. And let me say this. Steve Harvey is saying what he said because we're talking about women from all walks of life. So there's no one right, real answer. It's a matter of opinion and what a person is doing. And then there are some women who can't handle the truth. And there are some women that are very sensitive and they may not want to hurt their feelings. But we said, and I agree with you, that men don't want to get caught and they don't want their own feelings hurt because they don't want to have to deal with the reasoning behind the cheating, what made them do what they do, and just dealing with who is she, why is it, how long it's been going on, where do you take her, because we start asking a whole lot of questions.
We do, and they can't deal with that. They can't deal with the part you putting them on the stand.
Isn't that selfish?
It is selfish, but men are selfish sometimes, and they can't deal. Jay, they really can't deal with it. They would rather lie, and it's a self-esteem issue to me also. Some men feel like they just gotta have that woman. And it could be just sexually.
Most of the times it is.
They gotta have that woman. Now a cop out would say, I cheated because you're not doing this in the bedroom or you're not doing that. No, come on, that's a cop out. Tell me the real reason why.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with me.
Right.
That's you. You have low self-esteem. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and you're about to make a lot of men angry.
Part 2.
You're about to get a lot of them very upset early in the morning.
I'm ready.
But
think about it.
See, let me say this, because if it was a woman that was cheating, that had multiple partners, they would definitely tag us as low self-esteem.
And the other word.
Oh, whoredom.
We would be that.
We would be the tramps and all of that. Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's some real issues. You talked about not wanting to face the truth, not wanting to deal with it because some people are not ready for the truth, cannot handle the truth. We have 3 minutes left on the air, so I'm trying to really get it all out. The other thing is, Jan, you spoke about men just not willing to accept responsibilities for what they have done, and being able to deal with themselves and where they are.
They're not ready for that.
Right.
And they're not strong enough to deal with it or to share any of that with us.
Right.
That's why I say most of the time is not about us. We don't have anything to do with why they're cheating. Right. That's something you're dealing with inside yourself.
Right. Yes. So all of the women that would try to make sure that they do everything, give everything.
Right. You're doing it
be
right.
everything, and he's still out there doing whatever he wants to do, and it's something internal.
It's something internal.
I agree.
And some men like challenges. I think we mentioned that right, after the break, before the break. They like a challenge, and they just gotta Gotta do it. They gotta have it. You know, they have to. Yes. So what do you do about it? Mm-hmm. I don't agree with women accepting this behavior. Right. I don't agree with women saying, "Oh, men gonna be men." That means
every man out there is a cheater, according to
exactly.
So
according to that
any
statement,
woman that gets with any man, she's going to be cheated on. She won't have a faithful man, and it puts in a mindset of young women too. Oh, that's just how men are. So they make themselves accessible to that type of behavior.
That's right. Yeah. And that's not good.
Not at all. Not at all. But Jan, we got to have you back on the show. Definitely. We're going to go even deeper, even further. There's a whole lot that we want to talk about as relates to this subject matter. Why do men cheat? Listen, you can still dial into the studio. You can email me at realtalkwithmaryj@outlook.com. realtalkwithmaryjae@outlook.com. We want to hear from you. We want to know, men, if you're out there, why do you cheat and lie about it to spare feelings? Because you already have hurt the woman, and to not tell her the truth head on. Let her deal with it. Let her make the decision whether or not she want to stay with you and stay in the relationship. How dare you be so selfish? Thank you, Jen, for coming.
You're welcome.
Did you have a Happy Merry Monday
Oh my
today?
gosh, Happy Merry Monday.
Yes, I had a Happy Merry Monday too. Hope you all have a great day all day long.